A very good evening once again. Welcome to the second edition of News Tonight. It's me, Michael Jordan Lukomwa. We start with a look at the top stories. Former Kiteezi Executive Director Dorothy Chisaka and others released on bail. U.S. citizens go to polls tomorrow as pressure mounts between Kamala and Trump camps. Ministry of Lands starts national consultative meetings for the revised national land policy. While Uganda Cycling Academy flags off team to the Women's Cycling International Tour of Burundi. Thank you so much for joining in. Elizabeth Nakakoni will be on your screen. There she is, and here we go. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in our first story, has today met and held discussions with the U.S. Special Envoy for Sudan, Tom Perriello, at State House in Entebbe. The envoy was accompanied by the U.S. Ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency William Pope, and President Museveni and his guest discussed matters concerning security and how to end the conflict in Sudan. Perriello thanked President Museveni for his key role in mediating the conflict, where the president emphasized the importance of dialogue and reconciliation within the country. The envoy further appreciated the president's guidance and wisdom as far as the peace process is concerned. The meeting, which was attended by Uganda's permanent representative at the United Nations, Ambassador Adonia Ayebare, also discussed ways of implementing the African Union's Peace and Security Council communique on Sudan. Kasangati Magistrates Court has released Kampala Capital City Authority former Executive Director Dorothy Chisaka and co-accused on a cash bail of $5 million each cash. Magistrate Beatrice Kayinza, however, released them on stringent bail terms, among them deposit of their passports.
Last month, the former Executive Director of Kampala Capital City Authority, Dorothy Chisaka, and her former Deputy, David Luyimbazi, and Director Health Okero were charged and remanded with 57 charges of manslaughter and causing death by Russian negligence, which offences they all pleaded not guilty to. Monday, the three accused persons of once appeared at Kasangati Magistrates Court before Magistrate Beatrice Kayinza for their bail application, with their legal team led by Mark Dusman Kabega. The grounds included the fact that investigations are still ongoing in the case against them and that prosecution has not intimated to court the time when the investigation will be complete, and the accused will abide by the court's orders if at all court grants them bail. Prosecution represented by Lydia Nyomala and Stanley Baine, who did not raise objection to the bail application, however informed court that the accused are likely to interfere with the ongoing inquiries into the case. Magistrate Beatrice Kayinza overruled prosecution's prayers, thus releasing the accused on a cash bail of $5 million each.
I'm satisfied with the applicant's antecedents, that the applicant has a fixed place of abode within the jurisdiction of this court. The sureties presented are substantial. I further find that the case is in early stages and there is no clear time frame as to when trial will end, considering the number of counts in the charge sheet. I therefore exercise my discretion to grant the applicant bail on the following.
Kaija, however, gave stringent bail terms to the accused persons, among them not leaving the country without court's permission.
$1 million shillings cash. Each of the 5 sureties, that is Hussein Luyimbazi, Dr. Joseph Muvawala, Mori Harriet Chibalama, Dr. Frederick S. Kauma, Rosin Atim Obita, are bond a sum of $100 million, each not cash. $100 million, not cash. The applicant shall deposit her original passport in court. The applicant shall not leave the country without leave of court. with above conditions, if the above conditions are fulfilled, you are released. In respect to
the charges against the former ED Kampala Capital Store Authority Dorothy Chisaka, prosecution alleges that between July 2022 and August 10, 2024, the accused operated the Kiteezi landfill without necessary permits and licenses, thus causing the death of people. Prosecution also alleges that the accused failed to take immediate action when they were notified of the potential disasters, permitting large volumes of garbage to accumulate, failing to evacuate neighboring residents, thus causing their death. The huge Kiteezi garbage dumping in Kasangati Town Council, Wakiso District, collapsed on 10th August 2024. Court resumed on 26 November 2024. For mention of the case, Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansubuga, UBC News.
With just less than 24 hours for the Americans to decide their next president and administration, we look at what the United States Electoral College, which is one of the most controversial topics in America's current political landscape. The Public Affairs Council in charge of public diplomacy, Elaine Massey, told UBC TV that the Electoral College is the body that elects the President of the United States rather than voting directly for the President. Populations vote for an elector who then cast their ballot in their political favor. Massey noted that each state has the same number of electors as representatives and senators in Congress, which some often argue that this favors states with smaller populations as the first two electors throw off the population ratio.
People around the world are interested in what's happening tomorrow in the United States, US elections, and they're even excited about it. And I think we all are excited about it because elections are the cornerstone of a thriving democracy. It's when people go to the polls and they express their point of view through the vote. Tomorrow, American citizens will be voting for not just who will be the next president of the United States, but also who will be their senators, their congressmen and women, local attorneys general, senators and congresspeople for state elections, and even as far down as their school board members. So it is really a moment when Americans participate in their civic duty, which is the most important thing that any citizen can do in a democracy. And everywhere around the world, really, voting is the cornerstone of a democracy. So I'm excited to talk more about it today, as I know people are very interested in US elections, which I know can be or seem a bit complicated, but at the end of the day, it is people giving from their own power, citizens who have the power to give their power to somebody to represent them, and then those representatives, or the people who are in power today, will give that power up to the next person who's been elected. And that's really what democracy is all about.
As the world awaits to see the next US president, a section of women in Uganda are optimistic that their own will win. Kamala Harris is facing former President Donald Trump in a historical election that has attracted a lot of attention.
In the last 270 years of a democratic United States of America, no woman has ever assumed the country's presidency. This is the status quo that women across the world, including Ugandans, want to see changed.
Personally, I would love to see a female president in the United States of America, just like Obama won. It was very exciting, and I think even now, I hope Harris, White's team will make it.
The last time a female contender got close to the White House was in 2016, when Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump. Will Kamala Harris make history?
Like in Uganda, women have been contesting, although it has not been a success on the side of women. But we hope that at one time there could be a woman president. But this will be a good precedent for the whole world.
A female president is going to make that America and this power country be more stronger than even before. You know, mothers, when we speak our words, we stand by it. We are never shaken by what we stand and believe in.
But while some women are openly supporting their own to win, others are not.
Because the Democrats have an agenda that supports abortion, that supports children to change their gender, which Donald Trump is against. So as a Christian, I believe children shouldn't be aborted because that's murder.
One of the competitors in the race, that is Trump, has ever led America. So we pray that Americans see this woman, Kamala, as the best candidate for this race.
Children at the age of 8 shouldn't be allowed to change their gender. I mean, they're still young. They should be given a chance to be kids, grow up, make up their minds and choose what they want. So to me, as a Christian, and I'm praying, I hope Donald Trump goes through. We make America great again.
4 candidates are racing their way to the White House, with main contenders Republicans Donald Trump and Democrats Kamala Harris. Others are Libertarian Party's Chase Oliver and Independent Cornel West. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The police authority has announced a headcount to all eligible police pensioners. At a media briefing at the police headquarters, Naguru, police said those eligible have been invited to present documents for earlier processing.
District police commanders are directed to support the process of pensioners' verification exercises. This is in line with police headcount announcement to all eligible police pensioners.
We would wish to remind them that we have a headcount for them between 1st and 15th November, and it is a must. The rest of the details on what is required, please reach out to the DPCs, they will explain.
Those nearby are directed to present papers to police headquarters, while those in distant places are directed to present their documents to the DPCs in their areas of operations.
Find a way of having that information reach the nearest district or division of police. That is, in other words, the DPC of that area where you are as the pensioner or estate administrator.
In Mityana district, Buswa-Bulongo, police cracked down a criminal gang arresting ringleaders, and several assortments used in criminality were recovered. Among the recovered included attires like police uniforms, pangas, cocaine, among others.
This Tumwekwase innocent has since shared with us vital information concerning his involvement in the aggravated robbery. So we thank all our troops, all our persons who were involved in this exercise leading to these people's arrest.
In another development, the Uganda National Examinations Board, UNEB, has urged parents to take part in the briefing of their children in preparation for the primary leaving examinations scheduled on the 6th and 7th this week.
Candidates and parents should note that on the day of the examinations, candidates should arrive at the examination hall by 8:30 in the morning for the morning papers and by 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon for the afternoon papers. Any candidate who arrives 15 minutes after the start of the examination will not be allowed to sit the examination.
Another set of exams for the Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education is the last on the education calendar of the year and will begin on the 8th of November with briefing. UNEB, working with security agencies, have deployed at least 13,000 scouts and 600 security personnel towards the smooth conduct of the examinations. Komagum Rogers and Abdul Nasir Luwama for UBC.
Still, the Uganda police has called upon the public to establish lightning arresters on buildings to mitigate the adverse impacts that come with rains. This follows the incident in Lamo Parabek refugee camp where lightning struck and killed 14 people who were in charge.
Uganda police in Lamu is investigating circumstances under which lightning struck and killed 14 people and injured 34 in Parabek refugee camp.
Where the victims had gathered for a prayer. We managed with other agencies to evacuate the survivors to Paluda Health Center 3 for medical treatment. By yesterday, 13 victims had been discharged out of the 34. So that incident occurred.
Police cautions the public and encourages construction engineers to establish lightning arresters in building plans for infrastructure. The public also is urged to be vigilant during this rainy season.
One should seek shelter in a fully closed building. Avoid structures that are not fully enclosed, such as pavilions or tents, which do not provide adequate protection. Sometimes you find incidents where it's a football match and people run under a pavilion thinking that they have run away from the threats that come with the heavy rains. We always advise that people go into enclosed structures.
The housing patterns in refugee communities and plans for the construction of settlements are a concern. Security say it is an eye-opener for designated engineers to guide on infrastructure development. Abdunasir Lubama and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
As P7 candidates across the country gear up for PLE on Wednesday, November 6th, pupils have expressed readiness to get to write their exams this year, 2024.
They are considering the language competences. That's where the spelling go apply. It should not have what? A hole. Because if the hole, it has a hole, then it's better what? You.
I know that we have revised hard. We thank our teachers for the effort they have put in. They have always been helping us with the research work, these numbers that have always been confusing us. We also thank them for hurrying up to complete the syllabus, and by June we were able to complete all of it. We are confident that we are going to tackle this PLE and we'll come out with all in Division 1.
And we finished our primary 7 syllabus in June, and all the tests that we have been given have been helping us to improve in our performance. And since on Wednesday we are soon writing our final exams, we are all confident and ready to fight PLE aggressively.
In revising our books, since our teachers finished the syllabus early enough, and our teachers have been helping us, and we've been seriously revising our books. We've not been wasting time playing, we've been going for research work, and we've been given many tests. And now that we are about to do our PLE, we just know we are going to all pass in Division 1s.
We have been revising very hard since we entered P7, and we have
such preparation, our children are going to excel. We are advantaged in the way that all our children in boarding, and there is nothing like coming late. Even come Wednesday, when they are doing their primary living examinations, there will be no late coming. We feed them well, especially at this period of time. We have to encourage them to work harder by giving them a balanced diet.
Government officials, civil society organizations and community members have been called upon to collaborate in streamlining the adoption process and raising awareness on adoption rights. This plea comes ahead of the World Adoption Day due November 9th, and it was communicated to journalists at a press conference by the Uganda Children's Rights NGO Network in Kampala.
While the need for loving families is immense, many children remain without stable homes due to bottlenecks in the adoption process.
One of the biggest lessons was just information. Where can we understand this process so that when we make a decision, we can make an informed decision and be encouraged to go through with it.
In Uganda, an estimated 2.5 children are out of parental care. The executive director of the Uganda Children's Rights NGO Forum, Damon Wamara, says that only about 1% of these children are placed for adoption each year.
These statistics underscore that adoption remains a relatively rare event worldwide, reinforcing the necessity for advocacy and education and educating those the communities, and to encourage more families to consider this life-changing option.
This highlights the urgent need for increased awareness and understanding of adoption and foster care within our communities.
Because we don't have that knowledge as to how the process should be, many parents get stuck. And you can imagine if you start a legal process and then you back out of it, it means the child's rights are affected. And it's important for us to adopt, but the children need to have rights in the home because they become fully fledged children in that family. So advocacy was a big thing.
Barbara Nancha, the executive director of Sanyu Babies Home, cites that while the legal framework is in place, including the amended Children Act of 2016, many prospective adoptive families encounter significant challenges that complicate the process.
The policy is encouraging more Ugandans to adopt, but the only challenge comes in that many Ugandans are not well informed about the law and also the facilitation. When somebody has money, it is easy for them to hire a lawyer to do all the work for them. Go to police, go to this area, go to probation officers, do all the paperwork for them, and they can easily go to court, much as it is also a tedious experience and also expensive. While many Ugandans who are fostering are not the very high people or very expensive people.
In this environment, older children often face stigma and discrimination, making it even harder for them to find permanent homes. Their needs and potential are frequently overlooked, despite their resilience and capacity for growth.
This is usually very challenging, as many Ugandan families that come to respond to our call of fostering and adoption usually prefer younger children, younger babies, and mainly girls, and yet many of the children living in institutions are a little older. Other than those living at Sanyu Babies Home, where we have children from birth to 4 years old, there are many institutions with children as old as 18 years. And sadly, if the children don't go into adoptive families, at the age of 18, they cannot live in institutions anymore because they are not children.
To address these challenges, experts emphasize the importance of streamlined procedures and better education about adoption.
That is what we think we need to come out as a country and come together and say, you know what, everybody deserves to have a loving family.
The public is urged to attend the World Adoption Day event scheduled for November 9th, 2024. This event will provide an opportunity to reflect on these challenges and foster increased awareness and advocacy. Kayen Faith and Justin Nakami for UBC.
The UNDP Elgon Half Marathon with Joshua Cheptegei may have concluded over the weekend, but its impact beyond sports continues. Our reporter highlights extras at the marathon that many have missed and should look out for at the next editions.
Thousands of Ugandans may have enjoyed the UNDP Elgon Half Marathon, but missed out on other important services at the event. One such that caught our attention was the mobile TV van that housed a mobile X-ray machine for tuberculosis screening that, with aid of artificial intelligence, delivers instant results.
What we have here is a mobile X-ray machine installed in a van, which is used for TB screening. So what we have on this section is the digital X-ray machine. The patient comes from this side. This is an image receptor. The patient stands here. After taking a picture, the image is relayed to the computer for AI analysis. This equipment is Unique in the sense that it uses artificial intelligence to analyze the chest to depict where pathology is. So in ordinary x-rays in most hospitals, you stop at a black and white and you need a radiologist to interpret. But with this one, the image is relayed to the card box, which has the artificial intelligence to see where disease is. So I've just finished this patient, and when we fed it into the artificial intelligence, it gave it a blue. A blue means no TB and no disease.
This mobile van that combs the eastern part of the country has screened more than 8,000 patients, with over 200 on treatment.
So if TB is there, then you go for treatment. So this van is complete. We do TB screening through chest, through sputum. And once gotten positive, treatment is given there and then. It's a community van. It's not supposed to be in the hospital. It moves the entire region, the whole of Eastern, including Karamoja sub-region. So what happens here, I just need to give you a picture which has disease. If you look at this particular case, we will have stopped at this, but when you feed it into artificial intelligence, it points where possible TB disease could be. So it's actually a good equipment and very good for management of TB.
So far, Uganda has 6 mobile vans for tuberculosis screening, yet the nation ranks among the top 30 in the world with a high burden. In 2022, the World Health Organization estimated Uganda's tuberculosis incidence at 198 per every 100,000 people. The mortality estimates by World Health Organization in 2022 were 1,900 people without HIV and 2,800 people with HIV who died of tuberculosis. Uganda's National Strategic Plan aims to reduce the tuberculosis incidence by 20%, with this achieved through patient care and interventions like early screening.
European Union has committed 3.8 million euros to support urban refugee hosting areas of Arua City and Koboko municipality. The project targets reduction of the burden created on the social and economic aspects in the 2 urban areas. The project was launched by State Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga.
Data by Netherlands-based VNG International shows Arua City and Koboko municipality host 23,958 and 24,000 refugees respectively who have left settlements of West Nile.
Koboko municipality and Arua City have the largest number of urban refugees in West Nile, and that is a stake reality. This population increase is exerting a lot of pressure on the existing service delivery capacities of urban authorities.
The European Union, through Cities Alliance, donated 3.8 million euros to address such challenges through a 4-year sustainable urban integration of displacement-affected communities, SUDAC project in Arua City and Koboko municipality. ACAV will provide technical assistance.
And of these 3.8 million euros, about 1.7 is earmarked for Arua, and about close to 2.1 million euros is earmarked for Koboko. But 20% co-financing will also have to be sourced by ACAV and also the cities, Arua City and Koboko municipality.
In Koboko, State Minister for ICT and National Guidance Godfrey Kabyanga launched the program as Charles Magumba, Commissioner Administration in the Ministry of Local Government, represented him in Arua City.
But I would like to thank the European Union for this gesture. I would like to thank the government of Uganda because these projects, it's as if it is European Union and the government of Uganda.
They challenged Arua City to seek retreat from Koboko to ensure smooth project implementation.
The best nursery for administration in this country is in local government. And this brings me to the point that we don't have to remind Arua to perform because we've seen what Koboko has done.
So I would like to appeal to European Union that also consider Kasese. And I would like to appeal to Cities Alliance that please you also consider Mbondwe. These are our brothers. So the Koboko people, you are the best Pan-Africans.
SODAC is a successor project to the ended Inclusive Urban Development and Mobility Action, which EU funded in Koboko Municipality from 2020 to 2023.
I would like to register our full support behind the SODAC. I would also like to thank the government of Uganda for the good environment to allow the partners to come in and support and complement its programs. We believe that our membership on that steering group can add a voice to advocate for the reform of the national refugee policy, to recognize that cities are facing a burden by hosting the refugees.
Arua City and Koboko Municipality will present areas of intervention.
I want to commend European Union and the government of Uganda that this model of giving funding direct to local government is the most effective. This fund is effective because it's able to fit into an existing structure.
Because I have been in Koboko, we have seen how big the changes that have been caused by this project in Koboko are. With the intervention of a curve, that's going to give us technical backstopping. We shall see where the thing is stalling before even we allow the corruption itself to take place.
Joseph Odama, UBC News.
After about 10 years since he broke onto the scene, Joshua Cheptegei has not only won medals, set records and topped it with Olympic glory, but also invested in key areas to benefit the country.
This is Joshua Cheptegei Junior School that is located in the heart of Kapchorwa town. Like the name suggests, it belongs to Uganda's most iconic sports personality, Joshua Cheptegei. Since its acquisition by the new management in 2020, it has grown not only in numbers from 40 to 742 learners, but also in stature, and now has its own center number. It will in fact seat 86 candidates for this year's primary living examinations that start on Wednesday. Such strides have attracted partners to the school, the latest being smartphone company Infinix, that has offered laptops to spread the message of digital inclusion.
Today we officially launched the digital gap idea that we've come up with, whereby we donated laptops and stationery to Joshua Cheptegei Primary School here in Kapchorwa. We hope for these kids to use these laptops to be able to have a better education, a better sense of how to use technology in terms of bettering their life, whether in education or empowering them in future when it comes to employment, as we all know that this is now a digital era, whereby if you do not know how to use a laptop or you don't know how to access internet, it becomes very challenging for you.
To Joshua Cheptegei, who confesses first contact with a computer or even a smartphone so late in his life, this is a monumental achievement.
Just now, as you can see from the banner, we've received amazing gifts from Infinix Uganda, and these are the description of these gifts are laptops. These laptops are going down in history as a way of changing and transforming, digitalizing the school. And for us, we don't take this lightly because of this uniqueness that it comes with. As a world champion, I believe that our learners are going to have equal opportunities with the urban setting schools like Kampala and other urban centers, and also compete favorably with the other pupils in different parts of the world. So as we do this closer to our people, we believe that we can be able to have more opportunities. People can be able to learn in a more realistic way and can be able to be informed.
The school also received goodies from Banana Life, which delivered an assortment of products, including stationery, to aid.
AIDS Healthcare Foundation, in collaboration with COVID-19, tuberculosis, hepatitis B and Mpox survivors, have called upon African leaders and other partners to sustain the demand for equity in World Health Organization's pandemic agreement negotiations happening between the 4th to the 15th of November in Geneva, Switzerland. They were addressing the media at HF's offices in Kamocha, called to action for the intergovernmental negotiating body to address inequalities of the agreement.
African leaders have been tasked to sustain the demand for equity in World Health Organization pandemic agreement, to regulate and address inequalities such as limited access to vaccines, diagnostics in the next round of World Health Organization's pandemic agreement negotiations, starting 4th to 15th November in Geneva, Switzerland.
Africa bearing a disproportionate burden. We must ensure this does not happen again. An equitable pandemic agreement must be beyond mere promise. It must establish binding commitments that ensure all countries, regardless of income or size, can protect their populations.
We have over 365,000 hepatitis C, or people living with hepatitis C in Uganda, but with zero treatment coverage for hepatitis C. In fact, we do not have treatment for hepatitis C, yet this is a curable disease.
AIDS Healthcare Foundation and other partners launched a Save Our Society campaign with an agenda of demanding an agreement which suits all nations. According to the country programs director of AIDS Healthcare Foundation Uganda, Henry Magala, the African continent should push for the support of pandemic preparedness and health infrastructure. Magala wants critical issues to be attended to if the African continent is to improve its healthcare sector.
So the first one is regional production capacity, concrete mechanism to facilitate the local production of vaccines, diagnostics, and therapeutics in the global south. This requires a binding roadmap for the transfer of knowledge, technology, and long-term sustainability.
Says, while battling the illnesses, and this could be worsened.
Okololanga ekintu tolekera olwana osobola kukolola like 5 minutes. Kati ne batandikaawo tokonyweko biki ebidagala biri ebyabali abantu abalala ebyoku nsiko.
Namara omwezi ogamba nga sivaayo naye nga mbeera nzika mu kasenge nga tewali n'omu alingira abantu bange nga tewali ajjayo nga ndyokuomu.
Limited financial support, lack of regional production capacity among African countries greatly affects health care. All this responds to the call of Africa's inclusion and demand for equity in the World Health Organization pandemic agreement.
The President for Alliance for National Transformation, retired Major General Mugisha Muntu, has encouraged other opposition parties to train leaders and emphasized discipline as a tool to success. He was the chief guest at the first cohort awarding ceremony at party headquarters, at the NUP party headquarters Makerere Kavule, where 103 members completed leadership training.
Who completed leadership training at party headquarters Makerere Kavule.
People power to song and I'm very happy to be a witness in the history of making of the day of graduating with my brothers when they are awarding us our certificates in whatever we have learned.
Graduates were categorized into 3 elected leaders, professionals, and grassroots activists. The president of Alliance for National Transformation political party, Major General Mugisha Muntu, was chief guest who hailed NUP's initiative to train leaders.
Our in opposition, and I congratulate you for starting this. I hope all other organizations in the opposition similarly do that. When you are disciplined and you work as a team, this country is wealthy. You will build the country, it becomes wealthy, every individual benefits.
Has always quote the words of Marcus Garvey, liberate the minds of men and ultimately you will liberate the bodies of men.
The Secretary General of NUP, David Lubongoya, outlined the importance of the program.
And the invitation is open. Comrade Kaija, you did not talk about it, but very soon we shall put out a call for expression of interest. Muje. What I need to clarify also is that we have 3 levels at the School of Leadership.
Here, and we study how we have been in this system after independence for 62 years. We have studied discipline, how we can behave in the community, how we can lead the community.
A leader must be disciplined, a leader must lead by example, a leader must be punctual, and above all, we've learned the ideology of the party. We've learned that National Unity Platform is a non-violent party.
And today, most of us go to school just to get jobs. No, even getting knowledge is very okay. So actually, even foot soldiers today have graduated and got their certificates. They've learned how to behave in public.
Stop breathing. To be a winner, you must breathe only when necessary. Breathing is for losers. What is that? Did I give you permission to sweat? You can sweat in your free time. Push the arms straight.
Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
In the heart of Uganda, a financial revolution is happening. We were once left out, saving the old-fashioned way, with an unexpected saving spot, keeping it too close for comfort. But now, we found a better way to save and manage money. Download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial *229#. With Wendy, your money is safe and you can earn interest daily. Visit your Google Play or App Store or dial *229# to register. Wendy Wanawoli.
Amazina ganje Nyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco ninduga mu district ya Rukungiri byo muhanguzi wa miliyoni 18 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana *278# ngafuna message eriko reka mu muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo nedi y'abafere sente ziriyo zone bakaziteka ngo nazihangwire.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
At Uganda Development Bank, we are committed to empowering communities by supporting projects that unlock excellent economic benefits for Ugandans through job creation, tax contribution, output value, and foreign exchange. We seek partnerships with projects that drive economic development in Uganda.
Vocational education does more of equipping of different skills, ranging from hairdressing, tailoring, catering, and so on. So those are basically the courses that we do, and we do them in different levels. My relationship with UDB came through Yuga Privi. I'm registered with Private Institutions Association. So one time we were invited for a meeting as proprietors of schools, and UDB sold in their idea of offering loans for some of us who are still developing. So Ray happened to be one of those that is not yet fully established. Of course, being a private institution, we didn't have enough structures. So I applied for a loan, and that is how our relationship started. And yeah, so I got the first installment, putting up the preliminaries and the substructure, and the structure is being worked on. I really want to thank UDB so much because the interest is pretty low, and I must say, UDB nafunamu. Thank you so much UDB for supporting vocational education.
Uganda Development Bank, inspiring development.
In Lukaya, an ongoing commitment to education shines as Double Q celebrates 3 years of sponsoring students across local schools. Known for their transformative investments, including the renowned Ho Lueda wetland project, Double Q continues to make a lasting impact in Uganda.
I've been here like 14 years, so we love this country. So I think many people need support, especially the education is very important. They need support.
Various leaders, including Honorable Vincent Sempija, representing the Office of the President, Parent and Double Q Management, all lauded this continued dedication to education and growth in Uganda.
Really request that companies that have been able to make it, create profits, to get these profits, should take back as a social corporate responsibility.
Double Q's support extends beyond schools, paralleling their investment in the whole Luera wetland project. These projects highlight a commitment not only to economic growth, but to environmental and social well-being.
More than 35 students, yes, where they have studied good and they are like poor, they cannot afford the school fees. We are trying to support them go back to school, yes, and the support will continue until university.
The ongoing support in Luka illustrates the power of sustainable, community-focused investment.
Sponsorship is in form of material, and also it's a financial sponsorship where we're giving school fees to children, but also it's a mentorship program where we have brought in and invited different speakers, successful people to come and mentor children in their walks to life in terms of education.
Teachers, parents and students share how this long-term support has transformed their lives, giving them relief, the dreams it enables and the doors it opens for the future.
I want to become a lawyer to defend single mothers because they pass through difficult situations.
Bless them and managing director.
There are so many children that parents can't afford to put them in a school. But it is really wonderful and grateful.
Uganda Cycling Academy has flagged off its team to the Women's Cycling International Tour of Burundi that starts over the weekend.
5 of Uganda's best women cyclists have been flagged off for the 6-day Women's Cycling International Tour of Burundi that starts on Sunday.
We are well prepared as a team of women. We want to thank the Ugandan team for supporting us, and we appreciate the camp and everything they have given to us. As we are going for the race, we are ready to win, and we pray and we ask all the supporters to pray for us, and we come back as a winning team.
The team that includes Trinita Namukasa, Jacinta Namubiru, Immaculate Nakanjako and Kahunde Benita is under the auspices of Cycling Academy Uganda with partners like National Coffee Research Institute.
Last few weeks we have been in Nairobi for African Continental Championship for making sure that our female athletes have reached on high level in terms of participating in Tour de Burundi. We came back, we spent for 10 days of training camp, first stated by UCI, and we know that our female athletes are going to perform well.
Cycling Academy Uganda has been around for a while and is supported by the French Embassy, which rallies behind causes like sports and environmental conservation.
Well, I'm here on the behalf of the French Embassy to encourage and support this initiative that embodies the values of the French embassies, but also of the cooperation between France and Uganda, which are courage, but also gender equality and developing more environmentally friendly means of transportations within the country.
The 2024 Women's Cycling Tour of Burundi will be 300 kilometers done over 6 stages in areas like Ngonzi, Kitega, Ichumbi and Bujumbura. There will be more than 15 countries including Kenya, Egypt, Benin, South Sudan, Mali, Algeria, South Africa, Burkina Faso, Senegal and Morocco. This will be Uganda's third appearance at the tour that it won in 2022 and finished 6th last year.
University of Indianapolis second-year student Kirabo Namutebi, the defending NCAA Division II champion in the 50 free, broke her own NCAA Division II record in the event in a duo meet. To this feat, Kirabo swam 22.3 seconds as the Division II Power University of Indianapolis women rolled over a pair of Division I opponents in a tri-meet. Namutebi won the 50 free at last year's NCAA championship meet, which at the time was a division record. It broke the time that was set a year earlier by the 5th-year student Johanna when she won the NCAA title. Both swimmers are from Africa. Namutebi is Ugandan while Baez is from Zambia. Namutebi's time is the 6th best from all divisions of college swimming so far this season. In more sports news, champions in the East African Badminton Challenge have been crowned. The crowning ceremony involved secondary school competitors and together with higher institutions of learning. Kakungulu Memorial School defeated Chinawa SS in the ladies category. Mboko SS defeated Progressive SSS in the boys category, while Ndeje University defeated Victoria University to emerge champions.
Preparing for this tournament, and we are thankful for our coaches, Coach Kabindi and Coach Karimunda, who have been there for us from the day one of the tournament up to the end. As we have been able to emerge winners, we are so grateful for them, for their support and encouragement till now.
We were the run-up, we were in second position, and what we need to do so that we become #1 next time, we need to work hard, because this time round we've been not training, we've been in school, we were doing our UNAM, but we thank God that we have managed to be in position of 2. And next time we have to work hard so that we can do better than that we have done. And we are so happy that we have won. It's our time. It is our first time to win.
We have managed to come up as the second runners-up. We have lost against Ndeje because we have lacked team training. For example, our player Augustus Owini, who's playing as our #1, he wasn't training with the whole team. He has been on he was nominated as the best player of the badminton, so he has been up and down. So we have lacked that togetherness as a team. And the previous weeks we were in exams, as you know, university.
On to the finals. I want to say thank you to everyone that has supported us and the entire Mbogo High School community for the good support, because I mean.
That is all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Let's catch you in our other programs tomorrow. Bye-bye and good night.